Hey everyone, welcome back to the Be Better Everyday podcast. I'm your host, Josh, here with my co-host and best friend, Mac. We're two middle-aged, out-of-shape hot messes on a mission to improve and help you be better every day with real talk, our real struggles, and real progress. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Good. I guess we got to figure out how to do this again.
Yep. So,
Two done and then a month hiatus. That's how you do it.
Welcome back. Happy 2025. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, dude.
Dude, second episode, so good.
Yeah, and like I told you, we got a couple new listeners. So if you listen again, thanks. Shout out to San Francisco and Oregon. We had a couple surprise listens.
Definitely. It's kind of interesting how you see how, like, you know, it's one thing for you and I to share it on our Facebook pages or whatever, or other social medias, to share the episode, but to see when it, like, reaches outside of, like, your hometown, it's like, whoa, somebody out there is listening.
The 8 people we know who's listened so far.
Exactly. So, and maybe one person, one of us has listened to 6 episodes 6 times. Got to get the numbies up.
Yep.
But to know that it's out there making a real, like, it's literally going the distance.
Yeah, and now we're almost everywhere you can listen to a podcast that I know of, for sure.
Look, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Pandora, we're on YouTube.
Yep.
Check out the YouTube page, like, subscribe, and share.
Maybe we get a couple more of these under the belt. Maybe there'll be a video to go on YouTube. Who knows?
That'd be interesting.
Who knows?
Pull back the curtain.
Yeah. Be like, ooh.
So what's been going on, man?
Nothing. Just feel like the last month we've been fighting who's sick this week.
Exactly. Back and forth. The houses have had it. At one point, I know at one point you had whatever flu, stomach bug, viruses going around, and then my house caught it. And there's 2 things that I've loathed, and I've done both of them this year so far. One is be ill to the point where you're actually throwing up. I hate that. And the second is moving. I didn't move, but my sister did. I loathe nothing in the world more than moving. And unfortunately, when it comes time for me to move, it's always like around my birthday in the middle of summer. It's either pouring down rain and 95 degrees or just 95 degrees and 100% humidity.
Yeah. If you're moving in Virginia in August,
But I'll tell you what, January wasn't much better.
Well, this January has been cold, so it's
so cold.
Been a change for us a little bit.
Yeah, we had snow. Quite a bit of. I wouldn't. Nowhere else would consider we had quite a bit of snow, but for the fact that we haven't had snow in the last 3 years, we haven't had. It was 4 years ago, I think we had our last significant snowstorm, and now these kids are losing days at school they had originally scheduled off because they had to make up days.
Not now. So, this episode is going to be New Year's resolutions, even though we're already deep into the new year.
Yeah. 2025 New Year's resolution, New Year's podcast. I think by now most people have given up on their New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, we're past the second Friday. That's like I forget what they call it, but it has like a designated holiday where everyone quits their resolutions.
Well, this can be an opportunity to pick it back up, because I know, like, I came in with some big goals this year, and we'll get into it. We'll talk about the goals, and I may not have been as diligent as I needed to be, or as I wanted to be, so this is an opportunity for us to go ahead, throw the jumper cables on it, jump start it back up.
You right about that, because like last week, this household was sick, my household was sick, and I did nothing last week.
You want to talk about nothing? You know, we have a goal of 10,000 steps a day, or whatever your personal goal is. Mine's like 9,300 or something, is what the watch tells me. You would have looked at my watch and thought I was going for the least number of steps you could make in a day.
I went so bad last week that I think Monday or Tuesday, I took the watch off because I was like, I can't even know what's about to happen this week.
Yeah.
That's just how sick I was. And Last week I lost 10 pounds.
Dude, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, and not moving at all. So it's the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
That's not how you want to lose anything.
No.
Because as soon as I was able to start eating again the weekend, my body's like sucked everything back in.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a catch-22.
Yeah.
Thanks, flu. Thanks for nothing. So do you want to go ahead and get it? I did it. I think I told you to do the same thing like I did, right? Hard golds and soft golds for the year.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that at all. We just did golds.
Well, golds are golds. I just figured I wanted to take a different approach and have hard golds and soft golds that, if I can sprinkle on top, why not?
Exactly.
And I'm sure my list will start growing once I start doing other things too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and we'll get into yours first.
All right, 2025 goals. Goal number 1, eat more vegetables and try new recipes. We get in such a routine of eating the same things over and over. I'd like to, at least twice a month, try a new recipe and incorporate more vegetables into my diet.
That's pretty cool. I literally just saw that on a different list, adding in new recipes for your new year.
Yep.
And I was like, dang, I never thought of that. But it's so smart.
Yeah, like I said, we do get such a routine of just eating the same stuff over and over. Whether you have, it's like we have like 10 core dinners, and I feel like we just rotate through them.
Yeah, that's kind of how I do too. It's like, oh, is it beef this week or is it pork this week?
Yeah, but I do think I have found things that I like that I didn't know I liked before, like sauteed squash and zucchini with some onions in it. I knew I loved sauteed mushroom. That's nothing wrong about that. But spinach is something I've never tried before. But I mean, just like a 2 or 3 minute YouTube video, and you've got a ton of new ideas.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with spinach. Like, I hate vegetables, but spinach is like one of the only ones that I'll eat, and it's normally got to be in something. But if you just put that thing in on the stove top with some butter, I get it.
No, I butter some what they call garlic, that minced garlic in a jar. So a little bit of that in there with some butter and a fresh bag of baby spinach. You're onto something.
I mean, pretty much if your base starts with butter, you can't go wrong.
Exactly.
That's the worst part. That's how we end up here.
Look, please do not take dietary advice from us. We're just guys that are trying to not eat fried food every meal.
Yeah. We're trying to, I was going to say be one earned men, but never.
No, we won't make it to one earned men.
Never.
But we can be healthier versions of 2 earned men.
Maybe under $3.
Maybe.
That's a goal. I don't even think I wrote that on my list, but it's a goal.
I think it is down here somewhere.
What else you got?
I want to have normal sleep patterns. It says rest is so important to my weight loss. I need to ensure that I'm getting an adequate amount of sleep so my body can recharge its batteries.
That's good. I think, did I put it? No, I had sleep on my list, but then I marked it off. I think I started doing the math on, because like one of my goals is starting to go to the gym and being able to lift. So I was trying to figure out how I would plan that into my day. And then I was like, well, I got to do it first thing in the morning. And then I started doing the math, and I was like, man, I got to be in bed at like 8 o'clock like an old timer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one stage of life that you're past that me and my wife are still in the throes of is having young kids. So my 2 older ones are 17 and 15, and they're pretty much independent. They like to hang out in their rooms, talk to their friends, listen to music, game or whatever they do. And then, but we still have an 8-year-old who requires a lot of attention. And because the other 2 are so, when my 14-year-old was 11 and 12, she plays her sister a little bit. But now they're at the age of 14 and 8, where the age difference is, I still want to play Barbie dolls. And the 14 is that's the last thing on earth I want to do right now.
Yeah. Barbie? Ew.
Exactly. And so we still, at night, between taking them to school and picking them up from school, doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, um, youth group and activities and everything, it's hard for us to find time for me and my wife to like sit down together. And so what we've been trying to do recently is like just sit down at night and watch some TV shows together. Um, we went for a long time without like having that time together, and um, we thoroughly enjoyed like spending time together, sitting down and enjoying a show together. We finished Ted Lasso. We're caught up on a couple other shows, and we started a new show last night, but a lot of that involves us. To get that time together, you have to sacrifice sleep. And just because, the daytime and the early evenings are filled up with, activities and being on top of the kids and making sure they're doing their homework and stuff around the house. Um, but I did get my new CPAP machine recently.
Nice.
I need to go get some distilled water. I'm gonna try to pick that up, and then we will. I think that's gonna make a huge difference too.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I didn't think I was gonna like it at all, but night one of having it at home, like the only times I haven't used it in the past 4 or 5 years is if I don't go to sleep, which is bad, or if I fall asleep before I put it on.
Yeah.
In which that hardly ever happens.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Got the new mask. I got the new. They're supposed to have a new mask. It's supposed to be beard friendly, which was a problem I had before because with my beard, I was unable to make the proper seal, I guess. And but this new mask I have is supposed to be facial hair friendly, and so we're gonna give it a go.
I need you to tell me about that mask, dude. Because I have the same problem, and mine's not as thick as yours.
Yeah. What you got for your first one?
Let's see. My first one was Map My Walk. I'm going to complete the goal this year. I didn't get to do it last year because that pinched nerve in May took me out for so long. So, I think.
Now refresh my memory on the Map My Walk.
It's you versus the year. This year, let's see, it's 2025, so it'll be 1,025 kilometers. However many miles that is. It's like 600 some miles.
Yeah. Did you ever see the Nate Bargatze skit on SNL about like the metric system versus the standard system that we use? So funny.
But it would be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Only when it comes to weight and distance. Everything else I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing else about it. America.
Look, we know I bleed red, white, and blue.
Yeah, so that's my first goal is to hit that goal this year.
So it's 1,025 kilometers?
Yeah. It's always like whatever the year is. Like I started in 2020, so it was like 1,020. Uh-huh. And then, 2021 was 1,021. Yeah. So that's how it went.
Yeah, I think that is a good goal to have. It gives you something. So what? There's like 365 days in a year. I don't know what that breaks down to in the math, but I imagine it's like 2.5 kilometers a day.
636 miles. Well, let's call it 637.
Yeah, so less than 2 miles a day.
Yeah, that's how I ended up doing it. Was in 2020. I realized that I could only walk 1 mile at a time before I have to rest after my surgery. And so I realized if I did 2 1-mile walks, I could do it. And I did it. I mean, last year I still finished in the top, I think the top 33% of all the participants on Map My Walk. And
no, that's just mapping your active walks, not like your normal steps for the day.
Yeah, not my normal steps. I only do like when I go on a walk, or if I play like when I would play pickleball.
Yeah.
Because you
would count those steps.
Yeah, I would count those steps because I wouldn't be able to go walk and do pickleball.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't done that in like a couple years. That's actually one of the other things on my list is to play pickleball 12 times this year. So 12 games at least.
It's not on my list, but I'm in.
Yeah. I got to get back into it. It's so fun. And I missed it last year. When I tried to double dip in 2 part-time jobs last year, and it lasted a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I pinched a nerve. Really set me back last year. I gained a bunch of weight, lost a bunch of muscle, and now I got to get it back.
Got to.
Muscle mass under 200 pounds, bro. I can't have it. Can't have that. Another one of mine, it's not to get more vegetables, it's to get more protein. I set my goal up. I wrote down carnivore, and then I wrote down, like, let's be honest, I don't really care much about that. It's about hitting at least 200 grams of protein. Because when I do that, everything else is a lot easier. I found myself a lot fuller, and it's a lot easier to say no to bullshit in your diet when I hit 200. But it's really hard.
Oh yeah, and that's what I've noticed too, is that, like, when I eat healthier, I thought, you think at first, eating healthy, like cut back on what we intake and stuff like that. But when you're making the right choices, you can literally, there was times where I was like, I'm still, when I was doing like MyFitnessPal or, other calorie carb counting apps and stuff like that, it was saying, if you want to be at a healthy weight loss, you can have this many calories a day. And then if you exercised or you went on a 30-minute walk or a 2-mile walk, it would give you those calories back, or you could just be at a caloric deficit, which is ideally where you'd like to be. But I was like, I would be so full and literally have so many calories, like a third of my calories left for the day.
Yeah. I know when I hit protein oriented first, by the time you hit the 200 grams of protein, more realistically, it needs to be like 250, but I'm trying to aim for 200 first. And then, 250 is the ultimate goal. Is like, if perfect things work out perfect, I'm going to hit 250 a day. But right now, I'm just struggling to try to get up to. Especially now, since being sick last week, I don't even want to eat that much when I've been eating. So it's been kind of a struggle because sick last week, and then I think you were sick the week before that, and then I think I was sick the week before that. It's just been a mess of starting this year off stumbling out of the blocks. But like you said, I think this is a good day to jumpstart it back up.
And the other thing is, when you're not eating healthy and you're not getting those proteins or healthy carbs or, fruits and vegetables, and you're eating junk, your body just feels it. You could not eat that much junk and feel way worse than if you overate on healthy stuff.
Yeah. Well, that and it's like this bad cycle. I used to tell my doctors all the time where they're like, oh, you tried losing weight? I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. And all this time I've been overweight. I never thought about it. And then I was like, this is how it goes. When you feel like shit, when your body's in like me with living in chronic pain like I do, like when you feel like shit, you just want to eat shit. And that's what I tell all my doctors.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just want to eat shit. And you know how easy it is to just order a pizza and it comes to you? Because there'd be days where, like, air fryer is like my new favorite cooking tool of all time because you don't have to stand there.
Yeah.
Like, standing could be hard for me sometimes, just cooking and standing around. So, like, I feel stupid pulling, like, a stool over. I just hate it. So, I'm just trying to get over that kind of shit for 2025 and get back on track.
Yeah, like I said, eating healthy, sleeping healthy, exercising, all key tools. And they all attribute to your mental health as well as your physical health. And that's what I've been struggling with lately. And I think it's just because I haven't been eating the healthiest. I got on the scale. I put a little weight back on. Not even close to all of it that I had lost. But not eating right, not drinking the right amount of water a day, making poor decisions, like, has attributed to my attitude, just to my overall mental health and depression. And it's just like, my wife said it just said it last night, like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, but I know what it is.
Yeah. I think that's one of the hard truths is when you think about the stuff like that, you already know.
Yeah.
Like, people can tell you, and you're like, you can get mad about it or whatever, but deep down, you kind of already know.
Mm-hmm.
You already know. I already know that I eat a bunch of crap. But a lot of times, I feel like crap, so I just want to eat crap. But another one of my goals is to be lifting again. I haven't lifted since... I think I lifted a few times last year before I pinched my nerve. But I have it on my list to, by March, be lifting again. Because I was about to put that straight on my list. Like, I want to start lifting January 1 and be up in there with 20 other million people trying to do the same thing. And I was like, I always know by February it's died down. Yeah. And I was like, I want to give myself an even extra month from that so I can work on things that help me get to lifting, like working on the morning routine, sleep, stuff like that. And I didn't want to pressure myself into forcing myself to go into the gym yet and like trying to do too many things out the gate at once, where it's like, oh, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to go to sleep on time every single day, and then be second Friday in January and quit like everyone else. So I've thought about my goals for the year. I didn't want to make a resolution because that sounds dumb. It's just a goal.
Yeah.
And you gotta kind of know where you're aiming.
Yeah, I put on here that I want to lose weight. It says weight loss is one of my goals. It says I'd like to set a number. Like I'm going to try to lose 100 pounds this year. But more importantly than setting that number goal is to create just healthy habits, healthy workout routines, healthy eating habits. And then like we talked about, making sure we get in that 300 steps a day. I know that I was just doing the mental math in my head right now. Let's say that there's some days where I only walked 5,000 steps or 4,000 steps. Like, there's these things. That means other days, in order for me to hit that 10,000 step goal for the year, there's going to be days where I have to do 16 to 17,000 steps to average out those 3,000 and 4,000 step days.
Ooh, glad I don't have that same goal. Because a couple miles of walking, that's only like what, 4,500, 5,000 steps.
Yeah.
So, for me personally, I know like my steps. Once it gets over 10, it starts like I start falling off pretty quick, and my hips and sciatica start really acting up around then. And then anytime I've been over 12,000 steps since 2019, it's been a real nightmare.
Yeah, and like we had talked about maybe me going back to the post office or something like that, and if I got a job where I was walking, just my route was like 5.5 miles a day. And so that's 11,000 steps right there. Plus your normal walking for the day. So I think it would be nothing, maybe over 15,000. But I don't know. There are going to be days where I get over that 10,000 goal. I'm realistically with myself. I have to be realistic and say there's going to be days that I don't hit the 10,000. And there have been plenty of days so far this year where I haven't reached that 10,000 step goal.
Me too. Last week, like I said, I took the watch off. I was like, don't even need to know.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not moving because I was so sick.
Well, there was those 2 days where I helped my sister move. And I guess the first day my watch had died. And I had taken it off the night before and put it on the charger and forgot to grab it in the morning. And then I was like, oh man, all these steps I'm doing over here with her.
How will they know? Counted. How will they know that I've done this?
Exactly. So it's like, it's just funny how, there's been days where that number has been significantly low. And I'm like, why do I even wear this watch? And then there's other days where I was out moving and I probably took 15,000 steps a day, in and out of the house with boxes and furniture and everything. And then it's like, I didn't get the credit. But who am I getting the credit for other than myself,
I know. But sometimes that's what it takes to keep the ball rolling.
Exactly.
Because I know there's been times where, like when I was tracking my walk and get close to 10,000 steps, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and just walking circles around the
house.
Yeah, just trying to get my steps.
Yeah, it's
And then realizing that I'm counting my steps and know exactly how many steps to get through each room down here.
mm-hmm.
And then realizing that it's not tracking the same amount. So I got to take more steps. And then I'm like, well, then it's like, really, who am I doing this for? I'm literally just doing it for the app. But it's kind of good motivation that the app provides you. So
one thing that I talked about before that I want to do was the Monument Avenue 10K. And that goal has been out of my head for a month or so. Because I haven't been as physically active, but I need to get back on it. And like I said, even if I walk it, it's still something to be proud of.
100%, dude. Especially if it's a goal you set and you do it.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
And like I said, October 13th of 2024, I was 417 pounds. And
he's coming for you, 10K.
I am coming for you. I don't care if it takes me 2.5 hours to walk it, or 3 hours to walk it, or whatever it takes to finish it. I am going to finish it.
Sir, we can't have you out here in the dark.
Yeah, I'll be walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Like, no, you're not getting it. I'm getting this medal.
But we will finish it, so.
That's what it's about. I know another one of my goals for the year, one of my hard goals, is the podcast itself. Mm-hmm. I definitely want to at least try to get 26 to 30 of these things done. I would like, our plan was to do it every week, and that plan has failed. But we're going to break the average. We're almost at half of this podcast done. So we'll be an average here in 3 minutes, and then past that we'll be breaking the average of 2.5 podcasts.
Yep. What Josh is talking about is the average podcast only lasts 2.5 episodes. And here shortly in the next minute or so, we will be over that average.
Above average.
Nice. And that's something to be proud of, because we started it with an idea. And like you said, just between sicknesses and holidays and stuff like that, family events, we haven't been together in about a month, but I think we're back on track. We're both in a better headspace. I think we're both back to feeling good, and I look forward to doing more of them.
Me too. And I put a soft goal for the podcast is maybe by the end of the year doing interviews on the podcast. I think would be cool too.
Yeah.
And like I told you yesterday when we talked, like having maybe some of those for when weeks we are sick.
Exactly. Let's put some in the bank.
Yeah.
Put them in the vault.
You could take it to the bank.
Yeah. There are some guys that I know personally, and they're military guys here in the area. That struggle with traumatic brain injury and PTSD, and I think it would just be cool to get their perspective on it.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah, I got a guy who lives in my old neighborhood who was, I don't want to tell his whole story because it's not my story to tell, but he was in a Humvee incident where I believe it was blown up. And the struggles that he's had to go through with just, anger and aggression and, PTSD and all the things, all the throws that come along with that. Hopefully we get a chance to sit down with him.
That would be amazing. And over the last year and a half, all the volunteer work I was doing, got to meet some really cool people that I think would be interested and interesting on a podcast.
One thing that I saw that I want to do this year, and it just kind of came to me, and it's so easy to do because it only takes 15 minutes to go. I know I can meet real quick. Is up at the Hanover Community Services Board or whatever, where they have the food stamp office and stuff, like social services office.
Yeah.
They do free Narcan training.
Oh, that is cool.
And it's like a 15-minute thing. They teach you how to do it. It's a walk-in appointment. And then they give you a dose of Narcan, a single dose of Narcan. And if for some reason you have to use it, they will replace it and give you another one. It
is very handy.
Yeah.
Training and very handy to have on you, especially nowadays.
Yeah, this fentanyl that's floating around is no joke, and it's taking lives. And I mean, we both had classmates and stuff like that who had, substance abuse issues and who have passed away. And I think could it have been avoided if something like that was more readily available? So I'm going to take the opportunity. A lot of these guys, these, former military guys, or I want to call them survivalists, whatever you want to call them, that have like, they call it EDC, everyday carry, whether it be a pocket knife or, some other form of Second Amendment equipment. But I want to add that Narcan to my everyday carry.
That's smart. That'd be really good.
You don't know when you're going to need it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. You don't know.
One night we were up at the urgent care center with my wife, and this guy comes in just like, we need some Narcan stat. And I was like, what is going on? And I've never been around people with a lot of opioid use and stuff like that, so I didn't know what to look for. But when the two other people came in, like carrying this guy, and he was, gurgling, and they administered that Narcan to him, and it pretty much took all the reaction away. But and then I had another buddy of mine who I used to play darts with, who was a police officer in New York, and they were searching a car, and they opened a bag, and this stuff went airborne, and his partner had to administer Narcan to him. And so there was just the fact that Hanover County, or I'm sure other counties are as well, offering the free training, offering the Narcan, because you can buy it over the counter at Walmart now, I believe.
Yeah, it's $50, I think.
But if the counties can give it to you for free.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. Because I've done the training, but I didn't get the free Narcan at the end.
Yeah.
And I should redo it and get the free Narcan.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it together.
Yeah, we can put that on the gold list.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you don't know anymore when you're going to need it. That's one of the terrifying things about my son being in college now.
Yeah.
Is like, even if he just thinks he's taking like something normal.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are putting it in everything. Everything. It's everywhere. And so.
And it doesn't just touch. It touches every demographic.
I've seen it up close and personal. It's scary. It's terrifying. I've seen both outcomes.
Yeah.
Of it, and both ways. It's scary.
But
what else? You got anything on your list? I got listen/read 12 books this year. Yeah, and I already got like this book's halfway fit. I got like 6 halfway done books.
Nice.
And so I think that is a good momentum. Here's one right there. There's the Art of Motorcycle Mechanic over there.
What's the one over there you're reading?
The Beginner's Guide to Alchemy.
Oh, nice.
You'll be an alchemist, bro. I'm trying to turn this lead body into a body of gold.
Nice. My next goal was to take a family vacation. It says, due to situations outside of our control, we skipped a family vacation over the last 2 years. This year, we'll take at least a week to get away and relax and recharge as a family.
I mean, that's just a good habit to form.
Yes,
and going away.
Part of it was, my mother-in-law being with us, and her with her battle with cancer and her needing, it was kind of not available for us to pop away for, an extended period of time.
That, and even if you can travel somewhere new too.
Yeah, well, that's what
I think new travel to new places is like, I think it's always at the top of my list of things that end up making you a better person. Because I know before I started traveling, how close-minded I was about things, because I was just used to my world that I lived in.
Mm-hmm.
And then traveling for my old job and seeing all these different places, it just opens your eyes so much more.
Yeah, well, we used to go for 2 weeks during the summer over my daughter's birthdays are towards the tail end of July, and then my birthday's the first week of August. And so we would usually try to take a vacation that encompassed everybody's birthday. But the girls want to be home for their birthday with their friends and families being on vacation and stuff. It's hard to get them together, but the girls want to be home for their birthday this year. I don't care about my birthday as much. So me and my wife and I were talking. I think we're going to try to go to Virginia Beach in June. Like maybe instead of doing a 2-week vacation, let's do 2 9-day vacations. So like do like a Friday to the following Sunday.
Ooh, that'd be sweet.
And
dude, we went to Virginia Beach last year.
Yeah.
In June, and it had been so long, and I was kind of like dreading it because the last few times before that had been Virginia Beach. I was like, I don't want to come back to this place.
Yeah.
But when we went down, it was awesome.
That's great. That's
reassuring. I was like, man, Virginia Beach has really stepped their game up. And we went somehow like mid-June, like after school was already out, but it was like just like a normal day. It
wasn't crazy.
It wasn't crazy at all. It was perfect.
Well, you remember that campground we stayed at like after we graduated in high school?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Holiday Travel Park down in Virginia Beach. Josh and I stayed down there post graduating high school before I went to boot camp. And that was an interesting weekend. That was a good time though. But
yeah.
And so my family used to go there for 2 weeks during the summer, every year. And so my kids went once. I think my daughter was like 4 or 5 years old. So it's been like 9 or 10 years since she's been there. Since we've been there. And she was probably 3 and Noah was probably 5. So it's been 12 years probably since we've been there.
Hot minute.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking about going there the week over Father's Day, either starting Father's Day weekend or ending on Father's Day weekend.
Present to yourself.
And then the girls want to be home for their birthdays in July. And then we go to the mountain somewhere for another 8 or 9 days for my birthday.
That's my favorite, is going to the mountains.
I do too, but the kids want something different. And that place has so many activities. You know, they got the live band or the DJ every night by the main pool, or the karaoke or some form of entertainment. They got the putt-putt, they got the playgrounds, they got the arcade. There's a ton of stuff for kids to do.
I was talking yesterday at work. I was watching. Did you see all the snow that's coming in all these southern states that's not used to it?
Yeah.
I saw that Myrtle Beach was getting like 4 or 5 inches. I was like, how are you going to play putt-putt?
Exactly.
That's all you do in Myrtle Beach.
I got a friend of mine from the military, and she retired and moved down to Florida to try to avoid the snow, or southern Alabama or something, try to avoid the snow. And she was like, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, but when you said putt-putt, that's the first thing that came to mind, was trying to play putt-putt in 5 inches of snow.
5 inches of snow. I went down a rabbit hole a couple years ago on YouTube of like, over in Southside, they used to have the putt-putt golfing games.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like putt-putt golf, but it's like, it's more about like the bank shots and stuff like that than it is like the the loop-de-loops and silly stuff. But so they have these old like U.S. Opens of miniature golf.
Oh.
So it's like the early 90s. It's on YouTube. You can watch some putt-putt championships.
Nice. I used to love putt-putt. I even had my own putt-putt course that I made in the backyard before.
Did not know that.
Yeah. I used to go play putt-putt all the time, dude.
Well, when we were growing up, there wasn't much extra spending money to go around. My grandfather used to play golf, and when we would go down there to the beach for vacation, down to the campground for vacation, I think he had given us like 1 or 2 of his old putters and some old golf balls, and you just don't play the 18th hole, the one that eats the ball.
Yeah.
You just play 1 through 17, and you can play as much as you want.
Play all day.
Exactly. So, and yeah, he would give us old golf balls or whatever, and we had 2 of his old putters, and we would just not play the 18th hole.
It's kind of what happened in my backyard. Is somebody gave me a putter and then got a couple golf balls, and next thing you know, I was like, well, we can make a putt-putt course in the backyard.
Yep.
And you could play it, like, I forget how many holes it was, but I think I could play. It's either 3 or 4 holes, and you would play it 3 or 4 different ways. So
Yeah.
you would play like 12 holes, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so I just had the whole little course.
One hole, multiple starting points.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to vacation this year. We were talking about it last night. Like, I need a trip. And we've got a trip coming up. I've got a trip coming up with my son. We're going on a men's retreat that we do at the end of February. He went last year for his first time. That was my second time going. This will be my third time going. It's a men's retreat with our church up in Lynchburg, Virginia. It's actually the weekend before they do the big Ignite conference. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
I'm trying to think if that's the one I've been to or not up there.
it probably is. It's the big one that like usually has like a big band or one of the Duck Commander guys is usually there. Zach Williams plays there a lot.
Oh no, I went to the men's conference at Liberty before. That's where I went.
Okay.
That was a big conference too. There was like 12,000 men or something.
It might have been Ignite because that sounds like what it is.
Yeah, it was huge. Like Jerome Bettis was there.
Yep. Yeah.
It was a good time.
I wish we could go to that. But we have like one thing that we try to do with our kids now that our two are getting older is experiences. They don't need toys. I don't want to give the kids money. But one thing we can get for them is experiences, and it allows us to do something with them to create memories with them. So last year, my daughter, for Christmas, got tickets to see one of her favorite YouTubers. And then for her birthday, she got tickets to see her favorite band in Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving down in Norfolk. And then so this year as a family, we got tickets to go see Crowder and Toby Mac together again. So we're going to do that, and that's going to be one weekend in February. So we come back from that on Sunday, and then Friday, my son and I head to the mountains for the men's trip, and then at the end of March, my wife and I are going to see Brooks and Dunn. Could not be more excited about that.
That's gonna be sweet.
And then for Christmas and an early birthday present, my daughter got tickets to see the same YouTubers coming on tour again to DC. This year she got the meet and greet passes, so she's super excited about that. And then she got the lawn tickets to Bristow, which is in Northern Virginia, to see the same band again. I guess they're playing one of their albums from like 20 years ago that they haven't played in forever.
Oh, wow.
So she's going to see a band called Pierce the Veil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she loves everything's PTB.
I think, is it Pierce the Veil? I think that might be one of their members. Oh, no. It's a different group. It's not Pierce the Veil. My bad. I think it's August Burns Red or something like that. Is this band I'm thinking about.
But yeah, she loves Pierce the Veil. And so we're going to do, my wife is going to take her to those. But I think just the opportunity to create memories with your kids before they get too old. And so experiences over, gifts or toys or anything.
Yeah, I mean, look at, like we talked, our last one was a Christmas one, and we had such a hard time remembering what we got for Christmas. That was awesome.
Exactly. So this is something she'll definitely remember. We'll definitely remember. So we're excited for that.
I'm pretty excited about 2025.
I am too.
I really started off going into the new year really excited and having big, I don't know if like hope is what the word I'm looking for.
Optimism.
Yeah, that's a better word.
Yeah.
And then the sickness fell.
Yeah, I hope this is one of those things that like, what do they say about the springtime that April comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb?
Yeah.
I hope that's what 2025 did, because we had the whole water situation. I don't think you ever lost water over here.
No, but we did finally get a boil advisory.
Y'all did get a boil advisory. I lost water for like, I would say 36 hours. I woke up Monday night, I did dishes, and the water pressure was getting low, and I thought the pipes were just freezing.
Like, no.
I'm like, please don't burst the pipe. Please don't burst the pipe. Please don't burst the pipe. And then Tuesday morning, I woke up, went to the bathroom, flushed the toilet, and I didn't hear it refill. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
I didn't fill the tub or anything.
So I went outside and I checked the faucet, because that's the closest one to the counties. And no water coming out of the faucet outside. I'm like, crud. So I'll go in, like, I'm in Crocs and sweatpants. I believe there was still snow on the ground. And I crawled underneath the house. I get under there, it's like 75 degrees. I forgot that we have like one of our HVAC systems underneath the house. So underneath my house, it's like 75 degrees. A pipe, I don't want to say couldn't freeze underneath there, but it would be difficult for a pipe to freeze in the wintertime under my house.
Yeah.
Because we have a gas system. And so it's just, I mean, it was nice and toasty underneath
like,
there.
Dang, I'm moving down here.
Exactly. So then... I took my daughter to the dentist that day. I'm on the dentist office. I overheard one of the receptionists talking, and she was like, "Oh, I'd much rather lose electricity than water." And I'm like, first of all, you're crazy. Being without electricity, as cold as it's been, would have affected your heating situation. You know, I wouldn't say it was so much the refrigerator, because you just could have put everything outside right now.
Yeah, I mean, what is it now? Like 20 degrees outside?
Exactly. I've just been putting... we're not even putting bottles of water in the fridge in the garage. It's just like bottles of water just stacked up,
just frozen bottles,
just cold.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was like, that's absolutely crazy thought to think you, because for one, lights. You know what I mean? You don't realize how much you appreciate lights until it's real dark in your house. There's no opportunity to fix it. Charging cell phones and devices, entertainment. I think we would have been much more unpleasant had we lost electricity.
No YouTube to watch?
Water.
No!
We just conserved our flushes. We only flushed when we had to. And then I had some of those 5-gallon, water jugs that go in like the little water cooler things.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those. We went and filled up. And, so we were able to, and then the next day the water started slowly coming back on. It was probably late that night before we had full water pressure. So I would say about 30 hours or so without water. Let me tell you, I appreciate having water. Yeah. You never want to do laundry or wash dishes until you can't do laundry or wash dishes.
Take a hot shower.
Oh, felt so good. One of my last goals that I had was to buy a home. I said, we've spent so much money renting a home. 2025 is going to be a year that we purchase a home. So I'm working on, there's a real estate deal in the process right now. And I'm hoping to take some of those funds and purchase a home with them. I don't know if I'm going to purchase the home that we currently are staying in, that we're renting. There may be an opportunity for us to buy that home, which I would love to not have to move.
Yeah.
But moving is also an opportunity to start over fresh. So it would be an opportunity to declutter a lot of things. And I also know that I'm not moving without hiring a moving company. I don't mind packing. I don't mind unpacking. But that act of loading everything and unloading everything is just...
That's a young man's game.
It is a young man's game. And I have... the amount of wisdom that I have to know that I need to pack. I need to hire a moving company is going to be... And really, my sister just moved. And after she rented a truck, and I was over there, and she was over there, and she bought pizza for everybody and stuff like that, a moving company could have sent 3 guys, and they would have been done in a matter of hours,
Yeah.
With a lot less frustration and a lot less Advil in my system. So, and the last one I had on my list was just to volunteer more. Make positive uses of our free time and give to others.
That's a good one. I'm really missing volunteering. I was thinking about it the other day again. I was like, man, I was trying to think about my week. I was like, could I do it again? But who would I want to volunteer for right now?
Exactly.
Because I really want to, like what I was doing at Robin's Hope, but they're like basically barely surviving right now. So it's like a couple people just keeping it keeping it going, I guess, until they find more funding.
Oh, and talking about funding, our pastor brought up at church a couple weeks ago. I've been out of work since August, and God's been really putting it on my heart about tithing and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, I just lost my job, but now you're putting in my heart to tithe. I was like, what are we talking about? But then our pastor got into something, approach I've never heard anyone take, and I may have talked about it before. I think I may have. You can either tithe with your time, your talents, or your treasure. And if you don't have a lot of time, excess time and stuff like that, and you work a lot, then tithe with your treasure. Give money to the church or where you see fit. But if you don't have the opportunity to tithe with your treasures, funding's a little tight, then tithe with your time or your talents.
Yeah.
Give your time up. It doesn't have to be physical money. Now, I do know a lot of churches have a lot of great ministries that do require funding. I think I was looking at the mission trip for my daughter. They're going to New York City over spring break. I think it's like $800.
Yeah.
So mission trips are not cheap. And I know that includes activities and food and lodging, and it's probably a great deal, But we're going to try to find some opportunities here in Richmond. RVA Hope Center is one that I know my church works with a lot. It's getting down there with inner city kids, spending time with them, helping them. So I want to try to do that. And then what was the other one I wanted to look into? I want to do more stuff with the library.
Yeah.
I love a library, dude.
Just become a clown and be a clown at the library.
Yeah. I can juggle.
You're already halfway there.
Exactly. But yeah, I want to get more involved with the library system. I was just, I've had to go up there a couple times to use the printer or print something out or use the computer or send an email. Everyone up there's been super helpful, and there's so many opportunities. I didn't know that you don't even have to live in a county to be a member of to get a library pass.
I had no idea. I can't remember the last time I've been inside of a library.
Dude, they're so much fun.
Well, and all the new ones look so awesome now, too.
Yeah. I went to the one in Chesterfield across the street from the courthouse. I needed to complete a course real quick, and I had a court case over there at the juvenile court, and I had about 30 minutes, and I wanted to know if I could pop over there and use their computer. Like, sure. They're like, let's just get you a library card. I'm like, oh, I don't live in Chesterfield. She's like, don't worry about it. You can go online and rent audiobooks online, and it's literally the same as pretty much Audible.
Huh.
Like, you just download the book and listen to it, and then,
I like the sound of that. That would make one of my goals a lot easier.
Yeah.
Listening to 12 books.
Yep. So, the library system is awesome. I needed to print something out the other day for DMV, and we went up there, and my daughter, they had a train a little up in Ashland. They had like a train table type. My daughter loved it. So
who doesn't love a good train table, dude?
Yeah, she told me she wants to go back to that library. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's like one of the coolest things. Like when your kid gets to go somewhere and they got a cool train set you can play with.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of my way.
So volunteer more was one of my was my last goal that I had on my list.
Well, that's a good goal. I know we covered all mine. It's basically just about working on my physical health and this podcast mainly.
Yeah. I think, there was a couple things different on our list, but a lot of similar goals.
Yeah.
Physical health, emotional health. I need to work on my spiritual health.
Yeah, me too.
But hey.
It's all, it's all things you got to work on. And
it's all every day.
It's all things that you can't work on all at the same time. No matter how good you are at things.
No.
You can't do it all at once.
And you can't do it alone,
Yeah.
So.
Dude, we're like right just under an hour, dude.
Let's wrap it up, man. I'm so thankful for you, dude.
I'm thankful for you, too. I'm glad we got to get something recorded again after a month.
Yeah. And we're going to try to record one again later this week. Put it in the bank.
Hopefully, or just be a week ahead, or...
Yeah.
That way, if we have to miss a week, we're okay.
Exactly. Well, I know we're missing 2 weeks. 'Cause I'm going on vacations.
Gotta start stacking them up now.
Yeah.
Well, if we got anybody out there who wants to come on, get interviewed.
Yeah. Shoot us an email. Links in the bio.
Yep. Like I said, you can now find us basically anywhere you can get a podcast. All the major places, and a bunch of the little guys.
Yeah, when Josh was telling me about the different platforms we were on, I'm like, something I never even heard of.
I know a lot of them. I didn't. I never heard.
Well, look, if you go somewhere that you get a podcast, like I said, we're going to continue to put them on social media, post them on Facebook, share on. I guess do you share them on your Instagram stories?
Yeah, we have an Instagram page. We have a TikTok I haven't done anything with because I'm not sure if TikTok's going to stay around.
Yeah,
So I've just been kind of like not even looking at TikTok or trying to do anything with TikTok.
Well, they're back. TikTok's back for now.
Yeah, so maybe I'll start posting my daily quotes back up there.
Yep, so that's good. So anywhere you check out podcasts, we're going to continue to post it on social media. Check out the Facebook page. Check out the Instagram page. Check out the YouTube page. Subscribe to the TikTok. Couple more episodes in the books. We look forward to trying to get like a video, the video side rolling, and then maybe we can post shorts and stuff like that on TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
Woo! Now you're trying to get places.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for listening in, and hope you be better every day.
That's right. Thank you, guys.
Oh, I didn't do my quote of the day.
Let's get it.
Since we did it the last couple times. I think it was a short one today, too.
It is by Naval Ravikantasi.
All right, well, you already got it there. You say it.
If you cannot decide, the answer is no.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. As soon as you started saying it, I was like, oh, I remember the quote.
Yeah. One more. I want to hit on your quote from yesterday that I loved. Bob Marley once said, "True friends are like stars. You can only recognize them when it's dark around you."
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of hearts and thumbs up.
A lot of
for Bob Marley,
emoji reactions.
Yeah, for yesterday and today. There was a good amount today too.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yeah, I just want to again thank everybody for listening who does listen, and hopefully you people in California keep spreading it.
That's right.
Everyone keep sharing. Spread
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks, guys.